I know how much you're for Valentine's, so I had to get you a little something. It's coming up. We're obviously not going to sit here talking about Valentine's. We've got better things to talk about around relationships. But I got you this, and it's not sexist at all from the dollar store, but it's a bell to ring for women.
To just walk around begging for kisses?
Yeah.
Salvation Army?
Basically.
Please. Please. Well, thank you.
It might come in handy, even like all year round. A lonely night out to the bar, yeah.
Okay.
Because every woman responds to a man ringing a bell for them, you know?
Just like Pavlov's dogs type of thing?
That's it, yeah. And then, of course, I don't want to be left out, so I got you this to give to me.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah, thanks. Because I wanted to make sure that you didn't forget.
Will you accept this rose?
I will. I'd love it. And I'll eat it too because it's chocolate. Even better.
Hey, even if it wasn't chocolate? It's good luck, right?
Is that what it is? All right.
I think it is.
Or it's the end of a drunken night at a nightclub. if you're lucky and some loser buys you one of these. Anyways, all right. So Valentine's aside, we've known each other for a while, right?
Correct.
And I guess what you know of me is kind of along that like surface level. So not to blow my own horn, but I'd say you would think I'm, I guess, outgoing, lively, friendly, just a generally nice person. But you see one picture, and you see the best picture, and you see like my curated social media feeds, and yeah, I guess you don't know the whole shebang.
Right.
Is that a real Irish word to say, the whole shebang?
No, I've heard
Okay,
it.
all right. Okay, but say hypothetically we were going to date. Right. And we're not dating, just to set that record straight. But if we were going to get to know each other, you'd want to know like more about me.
Correct.
Obviously. And at, I guess, a particular time. And if I was hiding something from you, that could like be detrimental to that relationship. Okay, so say for instance, I'm hiding something big, like, I'll show you now, hold on. Okay, this is really dorky, which all I'm saying. Okay, this is the best I could come up with, alright?
Okay. I'm looking forward to this.
Okay,
Should I close my eyes?
Okay, so this is, honest to God, this is the best that I could find in the dollar store today, okay? So say, like, what you don't know is that I'm also Spider-Woman half the time.
Okay, so that's very important.
That's a really big thing to hide from you, right? Can you take me seriously with this on?
I'm having a really hard time, but I'm trying.
Okay, actually, I can't even concentrate with this on. All right.
I was just getting used to it.
So the thing that I kind of want to point out is that, like, I don't think for me I want you to know that straight off the bat, because I want you to know that what you see is what you get, and get to know me for me before you kind of make any wrong assumptions. And then at a certain point, obviously, I need you to know this big part of my life. And also for myself, I kind of want to know that you'd accept me for it and it's okay with you and within your comfort zone, because otherwise what's the point? But I think the main thing what I wanted to chat to you about is like how much we're hiding of ourselves in relationships and how long we can go on doing that for.
It's a big question. It really is.
Do you have you hid yourself in relationships?
I think when I was a little bit younger, I did.
Yeah.
And I think it's born out of just insecurities, and that is something that I believe everybody has. I mean, nobody's perfect. There are so many people out there in this world, in this city. I mean, we live in a really big city. You would think that eventually you will find somebody who's accepting of what you have to offer. Now,
you sound like my dad. Every time I talk to my dad about dating, every time a relationship ends, and I call my dad, and I'm feeling really sorry for myself, and he's like, there's millions of men out there. And that's always his one line. And he's like, you're bound to find someone. And I'm like, really? Really? Because I'm in Toronto and there's 4 million people, which is kind of, which is the population of Ireland, and haven't found him yet. So like, what's going on with the numbers game here?
Yeah.
But he always says it to me. I like to hear it, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm in the numbers. I work, I mean, I'm not a statistician, but I do work with numbers all the time. And I'll tell you one thing, whenever people start talking about numbers, you have to talk about statistical significance, and it's about 500. So you've had to have had 500 interactions or dates or experiences where things went wrong in order for you to statistically say that, oh, I'm never going to find anybody, right? So if you've gotten to that 500 number, then I would have some cause to worry. But if you have,
I don't think I'm there. Yeah, I don't think I've shown enough initiative in dating to be there. Definitely one of the things that, I don't know, one of the things we hear all the time when people are trying to comfort us, or especially women after relationships, is like that whole the right person will accept you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I don't know about you, but I think there's a lot of unrealistic expectations prevalent now, mainly due to online dating apps, like our lack of attention spans, our idea of like abundance, there's always something better around the corner, yada yada. So I think that makes it harder to believe that statement.
I mean, I can't disagree with you when it comes to online dating. I think that the core issue for our generation there is just the plethora of choice, right? And with choice comes rising expectations. So, there's a really good TED Talk that I always refer to. I mean, I think I've talked about it to everybody I know because it's so relevant to us, and it's called the paradox of choice.
Okay, my kind of analysis on this is say if you rate your mood from 1 to 10. So say if one particular day I'm feeling a 3. I'm really stressed, upset, there's something going on in my life, whatever. But I'm going to see that guy and I feel like I have to be something else. So I will push myself from a 3 up to a 7. And, it's not like I'm going to go through the door and be like, well, hey, I'm in the best spirits, but I will not show him any of that and I will push so that he can't see any of that. And that's something that I do.
For sure, that sort of thing. Again, it really depends on where you are in a relationship with the person. But when you start doing that, you're setting sort of a precedent, right, for yourself and setting the expectation that, oh, this girl's bubbly and she's always in a good mood. That's not necessarily something that the guy may think that's amazing and I love that and I want it to continue.
It's not sustainable,
It's
right?
not sustainable. I think men everywhere understand that nobody's ever going to have great days all the time. Like there are going to be days when we're not going to be good. And I think we all understand that we should have that sort of relationship with the other person where they can come to you and speak about it.
I think so many times as well, we're always like, well, I find myself in this mindset where I'm thinking of the other person having a great time with me, the other person really liking me, the other person this, that, or the other, but it's all about kind of them. And then it was nice when I had an experience a while ago where I was thinking like that and caught in that trap the whole time. And then I started worrying about this person accepting me for whatever reason and things that I wasn't being forthcoming about or talking about. And then I kind of had this moment where I stood back and I was like, feck it, like, I'm great. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, why am I constantly thinking that it's all about him accepting me? It's all about him liking me. Yeah. So, like, I kind of had this moment where I was like, well, he'd be lucky too. Like, but sometimes you just, you get in that mindset and it's, you forget about yourself in that.
Yeah, and it's important to catch yourself. It's important to catch yourself in those things because, again, you can get to a point where you're just setting a precedent, not just for the other person, and raising their expectations or setting unrealistic expectations, but also for yourself to best prevented by being a reflective person and by always having that check and making sure that, like you said earlier, they'd be just as lucky to have me. Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna be myself.
I love when I had that light bulb moment. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, sure, I keep wanting to curse, but I was like, I'm great. Like, what are you thinking? But another thing I feel like we really need to flip on its head is the whole idea of like baggage being such like a burden or a negative thing, or just that whole like just applying baggage to people's challenges in life. Because the thing is, and I think especially as we come into our 30s, people have gone through a lot. People might be divorced, they might have kids, they might have had reasons behind, I guess, challenges that they have had that have, kind of led them to being single at this age, whatever it is. And even in our 20s, we all still have something. Life is messy, but also I think the people who generally have gone, not to be like put a cliche on this, but the people who've gone through some of the toughest times, done some of the hardest work, and come out the other side, or who continually work on themselves and have that self-awareness, are some of the most interesting people and maybe know themselves more than a lot of people. So I just feel like, it can have a positive connotation to it too.
Oh, for sure. I don't like the whole baggage conversation simply because it's not fair. So it's not fair for anybody to expect that previous experiences the person has had are going to somehow translate into a future behavior. Like, if people tell you that they don't have baggage, they're lying to you. They have everybody. I have baggage. You have, like, we all have baggage. It's just the line.
So many of us have like hidden it and like
But you know what I would
best
say,
closet space ever.
Yeah, no, forget that. It's own it.
Some of us are just spilling it out, but like
own your baggage. And if the other person's trunk is big enough for you to put your baggage in, then you're good to go. I don't think you should ever look to somebody to fill a need or a void in your life. You could do that yourself, right? Like you should be looking for somebody who will bring the best version of you out, right? And I think that's a good sort of way of.
Well, it's having your support system. It's like anyone going through anything in life. Like, you have to do the tough work yourself, but more often than not, you can't do it alone. Yeah. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. But so you have your support system and your constructs there, but you're unfortunately, you're doing the work yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's. I mean, I personally think it's a lot better to do the work yourself, because you're the only person that's qualified for that job, right?
Although sometimes you need people who are more qualified to assist you with that.
There are certain levels of yes.
Depending on what's going on. You're qualified, but you might be junior. You need to you need to bring someone at executive level.
A professional help. Again, like I always say this too. I say a lot of these things, but having an ear that isn't necessarily a friend or isn't somebody that knows you really well is very, very important. Therapy is something that has such huge negative connotations, but I feel everybody can benefit. Even people who think that they're the most mentally stable people in this world can still benefit from having a professional therapist to just talk to for an hour.
That's so strange. I've never, ever heard a guy refer to therapy.
Why?
Like, I have, my female friends have, and I would definitely stand by it being one of the best investments of anybody's life. And it's that taboo word where, say you're sitting, even if I'm sitting in a cafe, and you say something therapy. Like, you might say, so I learned this really good thing, and so-so said this to me at therapy. Like, why do we need to whisper it? Then, like, the person beside us is going to jump across and be like, oh my God, you go to therapy,
Well, that's just the construct.
It's
that means something is wrong with you. Nothing can ever be wrong with us. We're a perfect human being. I mean,
whereas you're really, I just think anyone does that is you're very courageous, because you're stepping up and, again, you're doing work on yourself.
Yeah, at the end of the day, whenever a guy says that he doesn't talk about therapy, I'm like, that's BS, for lack of better words.
I've never, ever heard.
Maybe they don't talk about it, maybe they're not going to talk about it, but everybody understands the benefit of having somebody's ear.
Yeah. I think that pretty much sums it up. Like, there are no rules to it, and the fact is, and I'm speaking from my personal experiences, I'm sure other people can relate, I think you can relate, but it's, there's the fear of acceptance, fear of rejection, abundance, navigating online dating. It's just stuff that we deal with, and it's trying to find that way where we can expose a little bit more of ourselves to somebody, and whether they do reject us or not, that we kind of build ourselves up so we can do that with the next person. And the right person who's going to accept us for who we are. One of the millions of men on the planet that my dad said are waiting for me.
One of the millions.
Millions of men.
Millions and millions.
All right. We'll ring the bell. That was a good end. Okay, that was good.
All right.
We closed it off good,
Yeah, that was good.